Other thing that I did this week, I finished watching the Stranger Things. I finished watching the Stranger Things, and he truly is a young Frankenstein. Yes. uh, Fucking amazing. I totally dug it. Like, I genuinely dig the show season by season. Um, it's never been like, oh, fuck this, or like, I think there's literally only one episode in the entire series that I don't really like, and I think that generally most people didn't like, so they've decided to ignore that shit. And
Chicago.
yeah, with the other girl, yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
exactly, yeah,
We just watched that one night before last.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, that never gets touched on again, at least not yet. And there's only one season left, so I doubt that they will. um, but no, it was all really, really good. Everybody did great. Again, I'm not gonna sit here and talk spoilers, but I imagine those of you that watched it, and those of you that haven't don't plan on to because you would have by this point. But I still won't spoil anything though. But all I will say is that the infamous scene that seems to be going around of our boy Eddie jamming out on the guitar to Metallica's Master of Puppets. I'll just leave that as it is. But yeah, that was a pretty fucking epic moment. I really dug it. I plan on getting me a Hellfire Club shirt.
I can't wait to get there, but I hope the episode's still up and Lars Ulrich doesn't get it DMCA'd.
Oh, Metallica has fully supported it. They've put out a video like of them like endorsing it and playing along with the scene. Like they're all about it. So apparently that was the big budget item for this season. Like that's where a lot of the money went to was getting the rights to use that song.
Only 2 times in history has a studio put out the money required to get a song, and I can say Stranger Things did it, and apparently getting Immigrant Song into Thor Ragnarok was
Mhm.
like, hi, we would like to be paid today.
Yeah.
Money, please.
And it's funny you brought that up because that's kind of where I'm going. First off, apparently, again, I haven't seen it. Oddly, I haven't seen it yet. Usually, I see these things within the first few days, but I've not seen the Love and Thunder, the new Thor yet. But apparently, some people aren't really digging it. Like, it's not so much that they're saying it's bad; they still say it's a fun Thor movie. But apparently, people are just like, we really would like to know where this is all going because after Thanos, there's like things here and there thrown in, but they're not being touched upon enough. So people are just like, where are we going? Why are we still doing this? Apparently they need to get step on the gas a little bit. They're just kind of taking the scenic route while they're planning, and apparently people are getting pissed.
They are buying time with a multi-million-dollar movie to figure out where they're going to take the story to. That's kind of horrifying.
Ooh, you know what, Sparrow? You're not wrong there. You're not wrong.
That was their plan all along.
But uh so this was a small clip that I read that I thought was interesting that I wanted to bring up. Because they interviewed what's his name? David Harbor, I think his name, the guy that plays
Yep.
Hop. Yeah,
Yep.
in Stranger Things. Because he was in that Black Widow movie. He was the weird captain, the Captain Russia, eventually, basically.
I still haven't watched it yet, but that's the only thing I knew about it, and that's what sold me on the movie.
But so they were talking to him about those kinds of movies and just kind of like the cinematic climate that we're in right now, I guess. And he was quoted in here saying, "When I was growing up, Goodfellas came out in the cinema, and it was like the Captain America of its day. The Stranger Things star tells Independent, blah blah blah. We all rushed out to see it, and I don't know if those movies really can exist in this climate anymore." And that's what I was kind of like, before all of this happened, before all the comic book stuff happened, and like you think back and you're like, man, there were like all of the blockbusters that kept popping up, like everybody's like favorite movies before that time, they're all so radically different. But this last like decade, everything, while different, it's still the same. It's still cape and tights. And I'm not shitting on it because I mean, I like I said, I'm a big fan of it. I've rarely disliked any of that shit. I am a comic book fan myself. So it's like, it is what it is. But at the same time, the film side of me is just like, well, that's kind of true.
The
That's why
Kino side.
I was so happy. I'm happy to see that the Black Phone seems to be getting. I mean, I don't know how it's doing money wise, but the people who are seeing it seem to be saying really good things about it, which that's a positive.
That is. Marvel
But
is the Arnie of yesteryear. Yeah.
and
It's all theme park movies now.
yeah, and I remember people shitting on Scorsese when he made that quote, and it's like I may not agree with his phrasing, but the sentiment that he was trying to convey, I understand it now. I understand it a little bit better. So it's like it really feels like that a lot of people are just like, well, if it's not a comic book movie, should we even try to make this? Like it's like, and when can we put it out? Because like I remember there like being, I mean, I understand the competition of like, well, we don't want to put it out this month because that movie's going to come out this month. We don't want, like, I get that, but there's so many comic book movies like you're just like, well, fuck, when should we put this out?
I I kind of liked the what they did with Scream and released it at Christmas. You know, like nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Nobody expects Wes Craven to drop a movie during December. But that is actually a really good
Mm-hmm.
point, though. Yeah, think about this, because the 4K comes out next month. Heat, Michael Mann's magnum opus. Although Thief and Manhunter are pretty dope, could it come out in 2022 and do well?
Probably not.
Bank heist movies are kind of a very. I mean, it's a
I'll
small genre, but do people want the theme park or do they want character development, large shootouts, etc., etc.?
Well, let me ask you this: what are
We'll be
our,
watching it next month, Sparrow.
with the exception of like the big, like, I mean, they're all pretty much Disney at this point now, but with the exception of the big Disney franchises, like not your Marvels, not your Star Wars. I know DC's still, unfortunately, Warner Brothers, but nothing like that either. You know, what are guaranteed successes? The only thing is that I can think of is like Tarantino movies are usually a guaranteed success. Depends on how over the line he wants to go, but generally, typically, you
And
don't have.
even still, if he wants to go over the line, that's going to sell tickets on its own.
Yeah, yeah. So okay, Tarantino's pretty much a win. So he doesn't have to worry that. What else is a guarantee? Like if we put this in the theater, we're okay.
Mm.
Because like I said, I can only think of Tarantino. Maybe a Spielberg, but it depends on what it is, really. Like, I mean, I think people go to see Spielberg shit just to see Spielberg shit anyway. But like, yeah, you usually would at least want to see the trailer. I don't see like a bunch of people who dug Schindler's List like, oh, I wanted to go see Ready Player One.
Those are two different audiences.
Right, exactly. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, but for the most part, I think Spielberg might probably be a safe bet.
He could be, depending on what the project is.
Right.
And Sparrow's got a point. I think Scorsese more so than Coppola, though, because Coppola, there you go. Thank you. You took the words right out of my mouth. Coppola hasn't really had a lot going on because the dude figured out really quick he made more money off of his wine business than he ever made off of doing movies. That is kind of wild to think about because Coppola has 3 Godfathers under his belt. Even if you don't like the third one, he still did it. He has Apocalypse Now, which got a ton of revenue off of the Blu-rays and the like. I mean, you have all of that. Scorsese has been sitting on the Killers of the Flower Moon trailer for We are now going on 2 years now, and we were promised Leonardo DiCaprio in a serial killer role. That is actually what it comes down to. I don't even think it's directors at this point. It is we're back to the old Hollywood method of the star attached to the movie. We're back to the Karloff era. We're back to the Lugosi era, where if you have Christian Bale, I'm just going to name some actors offhand. If you have Christian Bale, DiCaprio, Pitt, I forget her name. Oh God, the beers have taken control already, Ian.
Are you talking about actors that usually, if they're the lead, will make
Margot
money?
Robbie. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, okay, yeah. I was about to say she probably would. I was gonna say I know it's not a Quentin Tarantino movie, obviously, but that trailer for that Brad Pitt movie that was Bullet Train, that looks fucking good. But it looks like a fast style kind of fucking Brad Pitt comedy action kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's what I think it has to be at this point. For it to make it to the theater and be successful, it kind of has to be. Horror can't be oversaturated. Horror movies, each studio you get one per year, and some studios are gonna have to wait every other year to release it because we can't oversaturate the market. John Wick, that's an automatic. Everybody's gonna go see it. Don't worry about it because everybody loves Keanu. They don't give a fuck about the director of it, but they have star power in the form of who's playing the lead role or just general branding. People who didn't necessarily people who think that that series has declined as each movie went, which I disagree with. Each of them are their own separate vignettes of story. They're still going to go see John Wick 4. People went and saw The Matrix 4.
Anxious as fuck for John Wick 4.
Same. So I think at this point it's everything in the film world cycles back around. Nudity in film is coming back again because we're going to get an NC-17 Marilyn Monroe movie apparently.
Whoa, really? I mean, I knew there was going to be a Marilyn Monroe movie. I didn't know it was going to be like that.
Yeah, they said fuck it. We're gonna make it as honest as we can. A lot of stuff is cycling back through, but we are kind of back to the lead star sort of deal. And to further the list, Charlize Theron, Idris Elba, names like that get attached to movies. People are more likely to go see them because they like them rather than, yes, Scorsese, it can probably get his name put on the movie and everybody will go see it because they're like, this is Kino. Tarantino's the same way. Guy Ritchie even. He still has some pull, I think, as well.
Yeah, his movies are weird though. Like I can't talk shit though because some of the stuff I really do like. There was one that I think it was what was it, Excalibur or the King Arthur one that he did not too long ago. I saw the trailer for it and I really, really, really wanted to see it, but everybody said it was fucking awful, and I never did get around to seeing it. Which normally, people saying that it's bad is not what would stop me from seeing it. That's not why I didn't see it, but I just honestly never got around to it. But so, like I said, it's weird that like things like that happen. I was gonna say with Margot Robbie, like I don't know yet, but she hasn't done anything that has terribly bombed that she couldn't recover. Like the first Suicide Squad, I think most people they got sold on the trailer because the trailer was fucking amazing. The trailer is not what you got when you got into the theater. But the scenes that she was in, she carried herself. She wasn't trying to carry the movie. She just happened to be a facet of the movie. But when she was in there, she's like, this shit ain't going to help me. I need to help myself kind of situation. And she did it fucking flawlessly. So much so that she got her own movie after.
I still haven't seen that one, but you know what? In the Suicide Squad that gave us Peacemaker,
yes,
she was great in that too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she kind of started, not to harp on it too much, but when Wolf of Wall Street came out, she That's what a lot of people remember from that movie. And then she got Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and brought a gentle persona to Sharon Tate. And was it Sharon Tate? Fuck.
Yeah, it was.
Sorry. I'm scatterbrain Jane over here.
Her with
and
them
then-
feet in the movie theater.
That's right. That's right. But then, she's doing the Barbie movie with friggin' Ryan Gosling. So, and yet and still, that's probably going to do well too. So I think you have two options here. You have the theme park kid-friendly movie, even the R-rated theme park movie, your superhero movies and stuff like that. Kids are going to go see it because they want to, so they're still going to. So all of the stuff that's on the we'll call it the Disney side of the house. Okay, there's your 90% of what the market is right now. Then on the other part, you have your single dive genre movies. You have Black Phone, you have Halloween, and you have Friday the 13th. You have all of the other stuff. What's going to carry people back to the theater is the movie Halloween. It's a franchise movie that's getting another one. If Friday the 13th gets announced, do you think that people are going to go to the theater to see that?
We will.
We will, for sure. But people are going to be like, wow, there hasn't been a Friday the 13th since 2009, and it fucking sucked. Maybe they'll have their shit together on this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go see it. So that's power from branding in a franchise. For the movies that are one-offs that are from new directors, best of luck, because the market's not in your favor right now.
I did not hear about that, Sparrow, but I can totally imagine that happening, and that's badass. Well, I mean, it sucks that happened to her, but she rectified the issue.
Yeah. She had a buy one, get one free deal.
Mm.